Hello students, today we are going to start the last chapter of the subject science of your class 8, that is air and water pollution. So till now I hope you have enjoyed this journey of science. Now we'll be completing the last chapter of this subject, that is air and water pollution. Now students, you know this air and water pollution. First we should talk about what is pollution. Now pollution is a contamination of our environment, that means which dirties our natural resources, like water, soil and this air. And this addition of this unwanted substance into the air or into another parts of your environment is causes it's very harmful for both living and non-living thing. So we'll be discussing two types of pollution in this chapter, that is air and water pollution. Now students, what is air pollution? When the addition of harmful substance or unwanted substance is done to the air, it affects both living and non-living beings. This activities do not only affect this living beings but the non-living beings also, because when non-living beings are affected or non-living things are affected, then ultimately the living things will be getting affected. Okay, now this human activities are very much cause of producing this type of pollution. Every pollution is more or less is caused by this human activities. Okay, now we'll be discussing about this harmful effect which is due to this air pollution, that is about this greenhouse effect and the global warming. We'll be discussing about this depletion of ozone layer, then of course about this acid rain. This water can also be contaminated by some harmful substance, and this is called air or water pollution. Okay, so it has causes many adverse effect on our natural resources, environment and on living creatures or organisms. Okay students, now what happens when this natural resources or the sources of water get polluted, and this polluted water is used for drinking purposes, is used for bathing purposes, is used for washing purposes. So many types of problems and diseases may arise in our humans. Okay, now we as humans are dependent on both the living and the non-living environment. Okay, we depend both on the both things because we need living plants, living things like plants. If plants do not do this photosynthesis process, then this plants like you eat spinach, you eat mangoes, you eat so much different types of vegetables and this fruits. And where does this vegetable and fruits come from? They come from these planets. So these are living beings. Some of you are carnivores, or they are you are. So you have this tendency of eating, or omnivorous. Okay, what are omnivorous? This the person who eats both. That is, you may be some of you may be non-vegetarians also. So what is non-vegetarian means? That you like to eat meat, chicken, fish. So you are dependent on living beings which are animals also. So we humans depend on our existence of life on living beings and non-living things also, like air is necessary for us for breathing, water is necessary for drinking. So we humans are dependent on living beings as well as non-living things. Now students, this environment for a very long time has maintained its balance, but due to our activity, due to the human activity or due to the human interference, this environment is getting very much unbalanced. That is, its natural balance is going to be lost. So we should study about all these things. Okay, so that's what this chapter is including. That's why this chapter is including in your subject or in your curriculum of science. Okay, so the first topic is the spoilage of our environment. What are the causes which are causing our environment, which is causing harms to our environment? Okay, 1 minute. Our environment. Okay. Now students, I'll be discussing some points regarding this topic. Now the first point is, as this population is increasing, more and more food is necessary. And if more and more food is necessary, what will be doing? More and more agricultural land is required. Now where this agricultural land will come? कहाँ से आएगी आपके पास ये खेत or this fields जो crops grow करेंगे? That will come from cutting down this forest. Okay, so this is one of the reason of our spoilage of our environment is. The second reason is, as the population is increasing, so the living place which we require, that is our houses. We are very much facing the problem of housing, because in cities you have that's very congested places are there, place or slums area have this thousand low people in a very small area. So this problem of housing is arising, and because of this, the people are cutting down this forest areas to make the houses for the people, for the humans. Now next is, because as the population is increasing, more and more industries are developing and they are being manufacturing. The useful products being set up. Now these industries produces harmful gases which are released into the atmosphere, and liquid waste in water, which is also cause the spoilage of our environment. The next is, because of this industries, because of the manufactured goods, it needs to transfer from one place to another. हमने जो manufacture किया है, if I'm producing this in Maharashtra, and then it has to go to Jaipur also, so it will need to be transport. So transportation is required, and as the transportation is required, these vehicles will produce more and more harmful fumes or harmful gases, which is dangerous to our environment. The next one is this chemicals, the chemicals like fertilizers and pesticides, which are used in more and more quantity in our agriculture practices. It is leading to this harmfulness or the spoilage of our environment. Okay. Now student, all these activities lead to the contamination of a physical environment. Okay, where this physical environment means air, water and soil. So as a result of this, the quality of air, water and the soil has drastically gone down. So because of this, this quality of our air and water and this is reduced very much. Now students, this large number of plants and animal species have been lost because हम जब trees cut down करते हैं, so suppose we are cutting down these trees, and these trees are cut down now. What happens? Suppose there was a species where it was only located, and that species had end of plants. Suppose another animal species depend on that particular plant, so that animal species also die out. So because of a greed, many plant and animal species have disappeared or have been extinct. Okay. Now the number of people suffering from diseases is also increasing, because we are doing this harmful practice to our environment or harmfulness. We are creating this harmfulness or disturbing the natural balance of our earth. It is causing many problems to humans also. Many of you are suffering from diseases nowadays. So this contamination of a physical environment is called pollution. So we'll be discussing that pollution is a very serious problem, and so we'll be discussing about this pollution in detail. Okay, so the next heading will be the pollution. Okay, so the next heading is pollution. So let me write down pollution. Now students, if we talk about this pollution, I have told you that the contamination of a physical environment is pollution, and the substance which causes this this pollution are called pollutants. What they are called? Pollutants. This pollutants causes pollution. Okay. Now this addition of the substance to the environment like air, water and soil that are harmful to our environment, okay, is called pollution. Okay, there are two types of pollution. There are two main types of pollution, that is air pollution and water pollution. There is noise pollution is also there, you can say sound pollution. Now students, in this chapter we will only limit our knowledge up to air pollution and this water pollution. So we'll be discussing about these two types of pollution, that is air pollution, that is the pollution which is in air, and water pollution, that is the pollution which is in the water. Okay, so this next heading comes, we'll be discussing first about this air pollution. So let me write down air pollution. Now students, if we talk about this air pollution, you know, air is a mixture of gases, that is, it has 78% of nitrogen in it, 21% of oxygen in it, and other gases also are there, like, you know, carbon dioxide is there, water vapors is there, argon is there, methane is there, hydrogen is there. So different types of gases are there in the air, and this is called the mixture of our air. Now what is happening due to this addition of this pollution, this mixture of air is getting disturbed. So we'll be discussing an activity related to this air pollution. What you have to do, you have to do very simple thing. You have to visit some places. Suppose you are living in a village or in a town, so go and take a walk around your village for a 15 minute or in a town. You can go anywhere with your parents, just 15 minutes आपको एक walk लेनी है. This is one of the area where you can do. Suppose you are living in a city, then you can take a walk around this park and a road which has very high traffic. Or you can take a visit or a walk around this residential area, that is where the houses are only there, and you can take a walk around this industrial area. Now what you will be doing, you will be noting down some things, that is the amount of smoke that is coming from this different places. Then where you start this coughing, that is this type of things happens to you, and where do you get this burning sensation in your eyes or not, whether you are getting this burning sensation in your eyes or not. So from this activity you will be finding out that different air qualities in different places is there. You will be seeing that park has very fresh airs and you will be able to breathe. Okay, villages similarly. Okay, now residential areas also. But in this industrial areas or the road with heavy traffic, you will be feeling coughing and you will be having this irritation in your eyes, and there will be so much smoke. Okay, so this is the activity which tell you that how air pollution is caused and how the human activities affect this pollution level in different areas. Now we'll be discussing the causes of air pollution. So what we'll be discussing? We'll be discussing causes. Now bacha, what are the causes? You know, excessive burning of fossil fuels is also lead to the cause of air pollution, like your coal and petroleum. You know, excessive use of this excessive use of this fossil fuels also leads to air pollution. Next is the smokes which is coming from vehicles. Suppose your vehicle has not been in maintenance for 6 months or 10 years or 5 years or 1 year. So what happens, it will start producing this smoke, and it is very harmful for our environment. Next is the smoke from these factories and industries, and this thermal power plant is also causes air pollution. The next one is deforestation. What is deforestation? Cutting down of trees is called deforestation, and it also causes air pollution, because बच्चे जो ट्री होते हैं वो आपकी एयर का या हमारी अर्थ का या हमारे एनवायरनमेंट का एक नेचुरल बैलेंस मेंटेन करते हैं. If there will be no trees, that how can we maintain this natural balance? Now this fifth one is use of certain substances like chlorofluorocarbon, which is present in refrigerators and spray can, will also causes air pollution. Now this exhaust from your vehicles, which contain this carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxides and other gases, also causes pollution. Okay, so this is about this air and water pollution, that is air pollution, that is the causes of air pollution. Now the next cause of air pollution is the smoke which arises from a forest fire or these volcanic eruptions okay, which contains this particulate matter, which consists of the tiny particles which are suspended in air. So this seventh reason is only the reason which from a nature it causes air pollution. Okay, so this is about air pollution. You know students, this carbon monoxide, it is produced due to the incomplete combustion of fossil fuels. अगर बच्चे ये प्रोड्यूस होती है, so it has this affinity, हमारे ब्लड में जो हीमोग्लोबिन होता है उसके साथ एक स्टेबल कंपाउंड फॉर्म कर लेती है, and that stable compound has this affinity, okay, and now it will not be able to combine this oxygen, so we'll be having this suffocation feeling and we may die from it. So it is a very poisonous gas, okay, and so it reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of our blood. Now students, the next thing that I'm going to discuss, that is it's a type of air pollution that is called smog. What is smog? Smog, you know, the smoke is a mixture. Now this, you know, in winters there is a thick fog-like layer is there. You know, you have seen this, and what happens? It envelops the atmosphere. When this fog, along with the smoke that is available in our earth or in the roads, it mixes together and form a compound that is called smog. Okay, now this smog has this amount of air pollution to it, and how this air pollution, and it is very much present in a day-to-day life, and it may cause this problem. You know, the smog problem is where it is seen most commonly. आपने दिल्ली में देखा, in winters they have this thick layer of fog there because of the smoke and this fog combines and forms smog, and this is the main problem which is faced by Delhi. And the government of Delhi is also trying to, and Supreme Court is also you know, authorizing some directive measures so that the pollution level can be reduced in Delhi also. Okay, so this is about this, and the smoke also causes this coughing and asthma diseases also. Okay, now we'll be discussing another types of things that is related to our air pollution. So the one of the reason of production of causes of air pollution is, you know, this when we burn fossil fuels, or this carbon dioxide is released in the air, and with this release of carbon dioxide, this accumulation of excessive carbon dioxide, you know, traps a large amount of heat in our earth's surface, which will lead to a cause called greenhouse effect. Okay, so this is called a greenhouse effect. So this is about one of the effect, that is the cause of air pollution. Now the next thing is, you know, this power plants also give this dust particles and this ash particle which pollute our atmosphere or our air. The next one is this burning of fossil fuels. You know, this burning of fossil fuels in power plants, you know, also releases the sulfur dioxide. And the sulfur dioxide, in the presence of the moisture which is present, it converts into sulfuric acid. Okay, this is one thing is going on. And this nitric oxide is also present in fossil fuels. When it burns in the atmosphere, in the moisture, it forms this nitric acid. So this nitrogen oxides and sulfur dioxide, when combining with this moisture, are forming sulfuric acid and nitric acid. And this sulfuric acid and nitric acid, when they mix with water and it comes on the earth's surface in the form of rain, then this rain, which is called acid rain, is very much harmful to our environments, to different monuments. Okay, now students, this is about this chlorofluorocarbon, that is CFCs. Okay, now CFCs are present in this refrigerators and spray cans, and it leads to a very dangerous problem called the depletion of ozone layer. So CFCs causes this depletion of ozone layer. And what is ozone layer, bacha? This is your earth, and this is the atmosphere which is surrounding, that is the blanket of layer is there. So one of the layer is of ozone. What? One of the layer is of ozone. Now bacha, what is this ozone do? सन के पास से जो यूवी रेज आती हैं, दैट्स अल्ट्रावायलेट रेज आती हैं, उसे ये ब्लॉक कर देता है, दैट इज अंदर अर्थ के अंदर एंटर नहीं होने देता. और what is happening due to this chlorofluorocarbons, this this ozone is changing into oxygen. Okay, and when this oxygen is there, now this oxygen do not have this capacity of breaking or of preventing this UV rays to enter. So UV rays are able to enter our earth surface, and it causes problems like skin cancers and damages to our aquatic life, or this kills germs and all everything. So this is one of the thing that is happening in our environment. Okay, now we'll be discussing the effect of this vehicular emissions on our health. Okay, let me wrap this and then we'll be discussing that topic. That is, आपके जो vehicles हैं जो आप use करते हैं उनका क्या effect हो रहा है आपकी health पे. So we'll be discussing about this and different phenomena which are causing this air pollution. Okay, so students, many diseases are caused due to this air pollution. For example, like dizziness, that is you are having this chakkar se aate hain na, like you have this feeling. Headache is a common thing nowadays. Eye irritation, your eyes will be getting irritated, that is वो red हो जाते हैं. Okay, then coughing is a normal problem nowadays. अगर आप traffic में जा रहे हैं, so you'll be, it's like normal, you'll be coughing. So like this. Sore throat, that is आपका ये जो गला होता है, that is this throat will get sore. Okay, now why? Because of this harmful gases. Chest pain is common nowadays. Allergies are causing, and many lung diseases like asthma are caused. Now, bacha, we'll be discussing about this acid rain. What is acid rain? When the sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide gases, when they come in the contact of water, they form sulfuric acid and nitric acids. And this sulfuric acid and nitric acid are present in our atmosphere. Now, what happens when this water evaporates, when it rises up, it forms a cloud, that is from the condensation, this water vapors forms a cloud, and suppose this is sulfuric acid and nitric acid, then they come with this moisture, they come and this cloud will have now acid in it. Okay, now this cloud, suppose go to an area and there a rain comes on the earth's surface. Now this droplets of rain, that is this drops of rain, will contain acid, and this phenomena is called acid rain. So that's how acid rain is caused. Now students, what is the main disadvantage of this, or the consequences of acid rain is? Acid rain corrodes our marble structures, or the marble monuments are corroded by this acid rain. You all may have heard about this wonder of earth, or wonder monuments, that is Taj Mahal. And it is the glory of our nation, and it's like a monument from which our nation has been known for a very long time. So this Taj Mahal is getting affected due to this rain, that is due to this acid rain. It is corroding, and not only corroding, students, because of this acid rains. And why? Because there is a plant nearby this Taj Mahal which has caused this many problem to the Taj. Okay, now what is happening, the Taj Mahal is changing its color from white to yellow. Okay, so it is becoming yellowish color because the marble is reacting with this acid rain. What is marble? That is calcium carbonate is reacting with the acid that is coming from this acid rain, and it is reacting and forming, and it is corroding our Taj Mahal, and as well as changing the color of Taj Mahal. Because of this suspended impurities matter, that is soot particles, which are given by this Mathura oil refinery. So this Mathura oil refinery is a cause of this, causing this damage to our Taj Mahal. And because of this, the Supreme Court has expressed a very serious concern over the condition or over the cause which is affecting our Taj Mahal, and he has issued two important orders regarding this. The first order is the switching to the cleaner fuels like CNGs, your compressed natural gas, and LPGs. Okay. Second thing, that switching to unleaded petrol in the vicinity of Taj. मतलब ताज महल का जो एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया एक रेडियस बना दिया उन्होंने, एंड इस एरिया में सिर्फ और सिर्फ अनलेडेड पेट्रोल व्हीकल्स विल बी देयर. Now this methods of checking air pollution. Next we'll be discussing methods of checking air pollution. What are the methods we can use for checking this air pollution or for reducing this air pollution? Now, we should use the use of alternative sources of energy should be there. Like solar energy, hydro energy, electrical energies, wind energies, nuclear energies, so that this burning of fossil fuel is limited. Next, uses of the smokeless chulhas should be used. Nowadays, it is very much common, and you should also use solar cookers, and biogas should be used for cooking purposes. Use of CNGs. CNG is a very cleaner fuel should be used. Now, use of unleaded petrol should be done in vehicles. Adopting this Euro standards and sticking to the pollution emission norms will also cause a very reduction in this pollution level of our air. Now, installing tall chimneys in factories so that the emission are given out at a higher place in the atmosphere. Now, seventh one, not burning dry plant leaves, because this and without burning them, what you do, collect this dry leaves and form a composite pit, for, put it in it and form this biogas. Okay, manure is also can be formed. Eighth one is undertaking this tree plantation schemes. This one Mahotsav is held in every month of July, so you should take part in this one Mahotsav and plant a tree. Let's just think about this. In every year you will plant 2 trees or 1 tree. Okay, on your birthday you will be planting a tree, so this you can take. Ninth one is enforcing the anti-pollution measures very, very strictly. The anti-pollution measures which are there, you should follow them and apply them very strictly. Now this 10th one, you should use public transport. If you are going to school and if you are having in your locality 10 students goes to your school, and then 10 students or the 5 students should do this carpooling. एक टाइम एक पापा की कार में चले गए, एक दिन एक पापा की कार में चले गए. So that's how this amount of fossil fuel will be reduced in our environment. So this is about this air and water pollution. Now we'll be discussing other topics of this chapter.